So we're looking at learning outcome 6 for effective business communication. Now, learning outcome 6 is know how to deal with problems faced by business organizations. And as you can see, we've only got 2 points on here. So 6.1 is explain the nature of common business problems, and 6M1 is explain the 6-step process of analyzing a problem and finding the right solution. So it's over here. Get straight into it. So for 6.1, explain the nature of common business problems. We're just going to look at what sort of business problems you might come across within any type of business. So when you're building a business, you need to focus on mindful scaling. So scaling is how you're actually going to develop your business. So are you going to go at what sort of pace you're going to go? Are you going to speed right up and open 6 new offices? Or are you going to do it slowly, make sure one is established and then go on to the next? So you've got to really make sure that whatever you're doing to develop your business, you're doing it in a mindful way, that you're actually looking at what potential problems you could get and trying to fix those before they come across. So if you haven't looked at any of your current business challenges, or if you've not determined how these might hold you back, your scaling can be quite difficult to do. So it's a good idea to know what sort of issues you might face, or what sort of issues you might face in the future, so that you can try and address those and scale your business and develop your business in a good, solid manner. So there's some common problems. You got employee turnover rate, so where your people are quitting left, right, and center. You've got an increase in competition. So if you've got, say, a chicken shop on the high street and another 3 chicken shops open up just 2-3 doors down from you, then you're going to have to try and you've got competition there, aren't you? You're not got the monopoly of that in that area, and it might lead to falling sales. So these are some issues. So number 1, I'm going to go through some issues that you can have. So undefined business processes. So about 50% of any organizational problems, business problems, can be caused by undefined business processes. So this is where any organization, any setting doesn't have a clear definition about what their business is, what their systems are, what processes they're using, what tasks they're meant to be doing, and what sort of knowledge they have. You know, are they hiring the right people, or have they got the right knowledge? So the improvement of any organization will happen when you first understand what type of work is being done and how you're going to contribute to serving your customers. So are you doing the right things that your customers actually want, or are you doing things that your customers are interested in? Then you've got organizational silos. So another 20% of business problems happen because of organizational silos. Now, when I say organizational silos, that just means the structure of the business. So these businesses, as you go along with this course, you're going to have a unit where you're looking at different structures within business. I think it's under the business environment unit, and that looks at a flat structure, a hierarchical, a vertical, a functional structure. All that means is what sort of leadership they've got in place, how many people do you go through to get to the manager, to the CEO, in a way. And I've got 2 images just to give you an idea. So these organizations that are structured, they'll probably have vertical or functional lines, and they'll have vague responsibilities. They won't have very good department goals. Sometimes they might have another department that they're in conflict with, or they might be trying to do the same tasks as somebody else, so it can be a problem. Now, I've got 2 images just to give you an idea of the organizational structures. Got a vertical organization, and we've got a flat or a line/functional structure. If you look at both of these images, you'll see that the CEO or the president is at the top here. But say, for example, I was working on here. For me to get my message all the way up here, I'm going through a lot more people, aren't I? I'm going through my line manager, I might be going through my department manager, might be going through the head, chief executive, or the assistant executive, and then I'll get to the chief executive. So for me to get my ideas or my conversations or messages up, or for them to get them down, we're going through so many different people. For here, it's a little bit more simpler because you've got the president or the CEO at the top, and then you've got a legal advisor, then you've got your heads of your departments, and then you've got the workers that will do the daily basis work there. So it's a bit different. It's not many people you're going through, but both can have issues within those. Are you okay with this, Victoria, this little section?
Yeah.
Then you've got incomplete performance measures. So this is where what you're performing, what you're doing isn't actually measured in a good way. It's where you're not completing your tasks, you're missing out your, the goals, things that are not being kept up. Now, we call these to get rid of these, we use KPIs. KPIs are called Key Performance Indicators, and you'll see this quite a lot through this course. Now, KPIs, they're very useful. They're just there to let you know exactly what sort of tasks you're meant to be doing, what should be completed, what should come next, and so on. So it gives you your performance ideas about what meant to be happening. And also, it's good for an organization as well, like your business, because they know they've got these performance indicators set in place and they want to meet them. Number 4 is unmanaged data. So sometimes we'll have data piling up. We won't manage it in a good way. It'll be inaccurate. It'll be insufficient. There won't be enough detail, and it'll just cause a lot of wasted time and effort. You're trying to get through that if it's not done in a good way. Then you've got unclear deliverables. So in the simplest way to explain this is where you're executing the tasks that you're doing, you're trying to deliver specified products and services to a customer, but you don't actually know what your services are, what you're meant to be doing. So you go into, like, I remember going into a job where I was going to be working on the phone, and I was working for an insurance company. And I go in, I know I'm going to be on the phone and I'm going to be selling car insurance and so on. This is when I was, I think, similar age to you, Victoria. And I go in, we do 2 days of training, and then they put me on a team called Vauxhall. And because I was a little bit dumb, I had no idea what I was doing. I knew that I had a good telephone manner and, they liked my voice being clear and so on. And that's probably why I got the job. But I go in and I say to after the training, I say to the trainer, I say, so does this mean that only people that have Vauxhall cars are going to be coming through to me? And it was like, no, Afsha, it just means it's your team name. It's got nothing to do with that. So, it's where you're putting someone who doesn't really know much about cars. I didn't have a car. I didn't know how to drive then. I didn't know anything about insurance. So, it was, putting the wrong people in the wrong place in a way. I laugh sometimes at the dumb things I've done in my youth.
Honestly, the amount of situations I've got into like this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I get really stressed in situations and I'm just like, I can't hear anything, and then it goes on. Hopefully I grow out of that, because if I don't know how I'm going to go through life.
So going on to number 6, you got missing performance feedback and review. So you'll get some type of reviews, and you do reviews on a common basis, like every 3 months is a good way to do reviews. But sometimes what will happen is you'll go in, you'll meet your manager, or you'll have someone coming in to meet you. But you'll talk about basic things, or you might end up talking about some common interests, or, just things that really don't have much effect on their job. And they'll go out, and then you've not addressed their performance management, you've not looked at the financial statements, you've not looked at their indicators, the KPIs that they're meant to be doing. So you're not really, hitting the nail on the head there. You're sort of having a meeting just for the sake of having a meeting, but you're not addressing any issues that should have been addressed. Ooh. onto here. And then you've got urgent and non-urgent problems. So there's a difference between these. So urgent is when you require immediate action or attention, and non-urgent is when you don't need any immediate attention. Now, there's a difference between these two. Now, the thing is, we will always have, I'm a firm believer of to-do lists, or to make a schedule for myself, so that I know if I'm having a lesson with you, I want to make sure that all my plans, my PowerPoints, anything I want to talk to you about is ready in advance. But if I'm sitting here an hour before your lesson and I'm quickly trying to type away and make things up, that's become an urgent issue for me. So if I know I've got some lessons or some plans with you next week, that's a non-urgent thing. I know, okay, I need to get them ready for next week. I can do them today, tomorrow, the day after, but I have to get them done by Friday, for example. So these are the type of activities that will help you to achieve your professional goals or even your personal goals, and it will help you to complete your important work. But you've got to time yourself properly. You've got to give yourself enough time so that something that is important to do doesn't suddenly become urgent because you've not done it in a timely manner. So, for example, if there was the first lesson that I did with you a couple of weeks ago, I remember looking at the PowerPoints. I wasn't happy with them, and I looked at them a little bit too late, to be honest. I should have really looked at them a couple of days in advance, but I didn't. I got busy, so I looked at them about an hour, 2 hours before I was meant to have a lesson with you, and I thought, I can't use these. I don't want to use these. They're fine, but I'd rather make something different. So at that point, when I was doing my plans and things, it became quite urgent for me, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to finish it. So I could have saved myself that stress if I just looked a day or two earlier and prepared myself a little bit better. So it does happen sometimes where you know you should do something, but you leave it too late. So that's 6.1. Do you have any thing you want to go over, Victoria?
It's clear, thank you.
Okay. And then, come on, cooperate. There you go. So 6M1. So we're going to explain. Oh, I knew something wrong. There you go. So we're going to explain the 6-step process of analyzing a problem and finding the right solution. So there's a 6-step method, and it just gives you a focused procedure for any type of problem solving. Now, this is fantastic for businesses. So this is the points that I will cover. So it ensures consistency so that everybody knows exactly what approach is to be used. You're using data, so it helps eliminate bias or preconception. So you're not making judgments. You're not using your own thoughts on something. You're just using the data that is there, and it helps you to get objectivity. It helps you to remove divisions and encourages collaborative working. So rather than saying, oh, I'm not going to work with you, or that's a different department, you'll actually encourage you to collaborate and work together with different departments and different people. It stops problem-solving groups from diverging into different problems. So when it says PS, that's just problem-solving. So it keeps them focused. So it also helps problem-solving groups to reach a consensus, a shared decision, so they know exactly what they're going to be doing. It gets rid of confusion, and it helps you to use different problem-solving techniques on the same issue. So if one thing doesn't work, what else can you use? It helps to make decision-making process easier, and it provides a justifiable solution because you've looked at all these different things that you could have done, and you've come up with the best course of action to sort out any problems. So this is a 6-step problem-solving model. So first is define the problem. 2 is determine the root cause or causes of the problem. 3 is develop alternative solutions. 4 is select a solution. 5 is implement the solution, and 6 is evaluate the outcome. So on the next few slides, I'm just going to go through each step. So the 6 steps that I just gone over are all these. So step 1 is to define the problem, find out what the problem is, diagnose it, look at the context, the background, the symptoms of the issue, and just see why did this problem happen. Step 2 is to determine the root cause of the problem. So you've diagnosed what the problem is, you found out what the problem is, and then you're going to try and come to a solution of what the basis of this problem was. So you're probably going to look at different issues that might have come up, look at different sort of areas that how could this problem have come up in the first place. Step 3 is develop alternative solutions. So be analytical, look at the problem in a creative way. So look at a variety of solutions and don't just look at one. So you've got your problem, you diagnosed it, you found out the root cause, and now you're trying to find out how to fix those. So look at lots of different ideas, assess the solutions that you're looking at, and see how it will focus on the cause or the symptoms. Will it help get rid of it? And then decide if one solution is best, or if you want to have a mix of different solutions to try and fix your problems. Step 4 is select a solution. So you're going to try and evaluate all the different solutions you come up. You're going to look at any potential ideas that you could come up with, and then you're going to just narrow it down for one. So look at the feasibility of it. Is it doable? Check if it's the best fit for what you want to do, and then you can choose that solution if it meets both criteria. Step 5 is now you're going to implement the solution. So you know the problem, you found out what causes it, you looked at different solutions, you've chosen a solution, and now you're just going to carry it out. So you're going to agree with your team members and make a plan. You're going to set out actions that you need to do before and during implementing it. So what needs to be done first, and then what needs to happen while you're doing it. You're going to look at different charts or tools. So you've got a Gantt chart. Now a Gantt chart is just like a calendar style thing, where you have, say, a week or 2 weeks set out. Just imagine a calendar in front of you. You got a block of 1 week or 2 weeks, and you're gonna put down your like a timeline saying from day 1 to day 5, this is what I'm going to do. Day 6 to day 7, I'm going to be doing this. Day 8 to day 9. So it just blocks your days off. So again, it's just like a timeline, but a physical way. And then see what date you're going to start it, how long it's going to do. Are you going to check your progress in 7 days? Are you going to check it in 30 days? What are you going to do? And then the last step on here is evaluate the outcome. So you've implemented your solution, you've carried it out, and now you just need to monitor it just to see that it's actually being followed. So you've got the evaluation, you're going to see what sort of success is happening from implementing it, you're going to monitor it, collect any data, get feedback as well. Make sure that what you're doing is actually covering what the problems were. Are they meeting the solution, or are they causing more problems now? See if your milestones are being met. So if you say in 4 days, I want this to happen, in 10 days, I want that to happen, have they actually been met? See how much it costs you, and then obviously when it's all done, see if it's completed. Is it in line with your plan? Is it in line with your schedule? Have you done it on time? What did you do? So that was the 6-step process of problem solving and finding a good solution. Do you want to go over anything on this?
No, that's about it.
Brilliant. So let's go on to, so in total, we just looked at some basic common problems, and then we just looked at the 6-step process that every business or most businesses use when they're trying to find a good solution to fixing any problems. do is there.